Good morning and welcome to Dublin City FM. You're listening to Council Matters with myself, Mick Fitzgerald, and today we'll see how we go because we're hoping to get Lord Mayor Brendan Carr, but I know he's on leave, so who knows, we mightn't be able to get him because he's a busy man and he does deserve a break from all that hustle and bustle of politics. But nevertheless, whether we can get the Lord Mayor himself, we will have two guests in the studio who are going to be telling us about a fabulous event that's taking place this weekend. It's a charity fundraiser, but with a difference because it's going to be involving snooker. So as we're waiting to try and get the Lord Mayor, I'm going to introduce our two guests today. First of all, we have Helen Deegan. Good afternoon. Good morning, Helen.
Good morning.
And Louise Richards, who is one of the organisers and the promoters of the fundraisers. I'm going to start with yourself, Louise. Snooker. We covered it last week on this programme in the sense that we mentioned the Rizla Championships. What's your involvement with snooker? Are you a bit of a player?
I'm not actually, no. Helen's husband is a snooker player, and Ronan's been a snooker player from being knee-high to a grasshopper. He's competed through a period of time, so the reason the snooker came about was last year we did a fundraising event for St Francis Hospice for Run Amok. We joined one of the gyms and we participated with them and we did a group event. This year Ellen and I decided that we'd take on a bigger challenge and we thought we'd go and do a parachute jump. But needless to say, that didn't happen, and we kind of were sat there trying to scratch our heads going, what can we do that's different? And we was actually sat watching the snooker, and it was the snooker shootout that was on the TV at that time. And we said, hang on a minute, we've got the background to this, we've got the knowledge to this, we've got the facility to do it, so this kind of is a no-brainer, let's go with it. Mm-hmm. And that's where it came from.
Mm-hmm. This is a first then?
This is the first of many, we hope, yes.
Mm-hmm. Helen, are you a snooker widow, as we say?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
How long has he been playing, or how probably more to the point, it's irrelevant how long he was playing before he met you. Does it take up a lot of time for somebody?
Well, it probably would if he has the time to do it, because he's working so much. Mm-hmm. When he can, he does.
Mm-hmm. Is it a relatively inexpensive sport, or is it one of those that, dare I say it, you think, where did the money go? Did you really need a 14th cue?
I think you've just hit the nail on the head there. The cue seems to be the most expensive thing, and one cue comes and it's not the right colour and it's got not the right gradient and it's not this, it's not that. Yeah. And then all of a sudden Helen's tearing her hair out going, another one?
Yeah, it's phenomenal because what I've seen is that almost like, if you ever see somebody on a bicycle these days, there's two sorts of people on bicycles. There's the one that just wears their work clothes. There's the one you think, oh God, he's just come back from the Tour de France. Is there an element of that in snooker as well?
I'd say probably so. They all have their own standards and they all have their own, cues to them, which are the right cue for them. And so, the cue is kind of the most expensive part of it, I would say.
Yep. Tell us, let's talk just a bit about the charity. What's the charity that you're hoping to support?
Right, the charity is St Francis Hospice in Raheny.
Uh-huh.
And the reason behind that is that both Helen's mum and Ronan's mum were looked after in St Francis's prior to them passing on. So it was our way really, because more frequently was Ronan's mum passing a year ago, that we wanted to give something back. Sure. They were a great help for the family, the support that they were given, and also for the final few days. They took care of both of them very, very well. Mm-hmm. So this was kind of our way of giving something back. So hence that's why we did Run Amok last year. Mm-hmm. And then we said that we wanted to continue to support the hospice as much as we possibly could.
Sure.
And that's why we hope that if this is a success, and there's no reason why it shouldn't be, we've got great support, that this will become an annual event and get bigger and better every year. So.
Sure. Yeah, I've got particularly over the last couple of years, I've got a bit of experience of visiting hospices. A friend of mine he was originally in one in Blackrock, and then they moved him to the one in Harold's Cross. How did you find St Francis's, Helen? Did you have to visit it regularly? Was your mother in there for some time?
Yeah, she was taken in near the end, just actually for respite.
Yeah.
But things changed very quickly, so she was only in it 48 hours.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I know my friend was in there for 9 months, and schlepping up there every week or even several times a week. It becomes a harrowing experience because you know it's a one-way. It's a one-way street, really, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
How did, although it was only a short period of time, how did you find she was treated? Was she treated with dignity?
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah. Because I think that that's probably the most important thing that anybody going in there, because let's be honest, they know what the outcome is.
Of course, but they know what they're doing, they know what they're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever elements come up, they dealt with it straight away, and it was brilliant. I didn't have to worry. The family didn't have to worry. They literally took everything off you, which was fantastic. Yeah. And the support, unbelievable.
Yeah, and then you get to deal with the reality, isn't it?
Yeah.
Was your mother old?
She was 62.
Whew, that's younger than me. That's very sad to hear. Very, very sad to hear, because nobody should be taken that young, really, should they?
No.
Yeah,
no.
yeah. Louise, coming back to yourself, is charity fundraising part of your remit, or is that something that you would do on a very regular basis?
No, I've done. I did the Race for Life a few times in the UK before moving to Ireland. And I've certainly done it here, the Ladies Marathon. But that's probably about as far as my fundraising goes until, getting involved with St Francis's through Helen and Ronan, really, and supporting them certainly through Ronan's mum's passing. So it's kind of come from there, and St Francis is a great hospice. The staff are brilliant. They really are. They can't do enough for you. And I think even when you go through, you have that sense of tranquility. There's no hustle and bustle of a hospital department or anything like that. So no, that's kind of where my fundraising comes from, really. And
sure, everybody who takes part in one of these, whether it's a fun run or a half marathon or anything like that, they tend to only see the event. In other words, I walk up there and that's a nice half day or whatever, and that's all they see. But I suspect there's been an awful lot of planning gone into this.
There's been an awful lot of planning. I mean, from when we were sat there and this kind of suddenly dawned upon us that we could do a snooker shootout, there was lots of telephone calls made, there were lots of knocking on doors, and we have been very, very lucky with the support that we've been given from organisations for the likes of donations or raffle prizes, the likes of Rialto Ford and the Clayton Hotel Group and First Choice Autos. There's been loads. McCabe's Pharmacy, Paddy Power, they've kind of all said, yeah, absolutely, it's for the hospice. And we actually were quite taken aback by how much support and willingness that there is out there, given we're still not through the rest of the economy yet, but people are very good to donate to the hospice, and as soon as you mention the hospice, they're like, absolutely, yeah. And even Joe blogs on the street that we've said there's raffles. There's a raffle on both of the days, and there's also the live auction as well, which I'm sure we'll be coming to shortly. But raffle tickets there, we've done them so that they're not overly expensive, but the prizes are worth winning. It's not a box of chocolates or a bottle of wine or anything like that. So
I wonder, how do you go about picking not a charity? That's the easy bit to a certain degree. But how do you go about, say, picking a method? Because if you have a look, probably the most successful one over the last few years was the Ice Bucket Challenge. Now, I have to admit, I did not take part in the Ice Bucket Challenge myself, but it seems to have been one that was very successful because it was pretty cheap to do, and at the same time, you could actually, it almost had a domino effect in the sense that if you get one person, it was like a pyramid sale. Absolutely, in that sense of the word. So it just struck me, looking at what you're doing, you've limited it because of the logistics of it. I mean,
Sure.
I'm sure you know you would have been happy to organise a 24-hour snooker tournament for a week and get lots that way, but it's not practical.
It's not practical,
No.
and I think, you know, you have to remember what it's about. It's for St Francis's. It's a local hospice in a local community, and you know, Joeys Snooker Hall in Harmonstown.
Great
you know,
place, isn't it?
Great place.
Yeah.
Great. The staff have been amazing.
Yeah.
You know, they have literally opened their doors. We went into them and spoke to them and said, "Look, this is what we want to do. We don't really want to have to pay much for it because it's for the hospice."
Sure.
And they were just like, "Look, girls, whatever you want, just let us know, and if we can facilitate you, we will, or if we can't, we'll help you, work with you." And you know, I can't say, you know, thanks enough for what they've done for us. You know, without them, and it's kind of keeping them local. It's keeping it so it's about what it is. It's not, you know, it's not a huge event this year, but hopefully, you know, it will get bigger and better on
it's
an
the
annual
inaugural,
basis.
isn't it? It's
It is.
the way we
It
will
is.
put
It's
it.
the
Yeah.
first of many, hope.
You're unfortunately for anybody listening now, your entries are closed. Is that correct?
The entry, yeah, I mean, we actually cut it down to 32 players. We did set out
64
with
is a
kind of
bit
64.
much, because you either have to do 16, 32
That's exactly it, yeah.
or
So
64.
64 we kind of set out with the big milestone and said, right, okay. And then we took the decision a few weeks ago because people were saying, yeah, we'll do it, but weren't very forthcoming with application forms. So we said, right, okay, to be on the safe side and we know that it's going to be filled and it's going to be complete, then we'll cut it to 34. So we have 32 players. They play one frame. It's a knockout. So it's a one table setup with tier seating. So they play a one frame, which is 10 minutes. It's 15 seconds a shot for the first 5 minutes, and then it goes to 10 seconds a shot for the last 5 minutes. So as you see it on TV, really, you know, the players come out, they get called out, they have their playing name, if you like. So for instance, Helen's son is Evan. So he's Evan the Almighty Deegan. So and he'll have his own music, his own theme tune that he comes out to. He'll be escorted to the table by two lovely ladies coming over from England.
Well, we've got lovely ladies here.
I'm sure you have lovely ladies here, but you know,
gorgeous colleagues.
these two volunteered. So what can I say? And then they'll do the lag, and the lag literally is they both hit the ball at the same time, the cue ball, and it's the one nearest the top cushion. And then from there, that dictates who breaks. And so it's fast and furious. So where normal games of snooker are very quiet and you know respectful of the player concentrating.
They're British, you know. That's what I'm saying. You know, the British invented the game, and it was like billiards. I mean, if you ever really want a good sleep, just watch a game of billiards.
Exactly.
You know? Helen, I want to go back to yourself because you've got a second generation playing snooker as well now. I mean, you must have a very quiet house.
You must be joking.
Yeah.
3 boys. And then my husband, so that's 4 boys.
And they all play?
No, only the youngest.
Okay, yeah.
The other 2 not interested. Footballer and karate.
You often find that, don't you? My dad's going to do this, I'm going to excel at something else just so that I'll get noticed and younger sons. But he probably would be disappointed if it was Evan's 7th.
Yeah.
Obviously, because of your involvement, Helen, people are going to say, oh, your family got in because you're involved in it. I'm hoping they got in on merit. Is that would that be fair? Or was it a first come, first served as to how you picked people?
Yeah, it was first come, first served.
Okay.
Application form filled in.
Yeah.
Put your fee in.
Yeah.
And that's it, you're in.
Yeah. And what's the prize, I suppose, to the winner?
Okay.
Yeah.
The entry fee was €35 per person. Okay.
And just trying to do a quick one here. That's about 1,500 or thereabout, roughly speaking.
Yeah. And the cash prizes, it's €200 for the winner.
Okay.
€100 for the runner-up.
Yeah.
And €50 for 2 semi-finals.
Yeah. What's the possibility that you got some hustler coming over from Crumlin or somewhere like that? Because that's what we found when we organised a pub quiz for a charity event. That was great, you know. It was mainly people from work or a couple of friends and things like that. Then the next thing we know, this table of ring-ins came in, and they won. We were second. But we discovered these guys, that's what they spend their time doing, going around pub quizzes. And I thought, that's a bit cheeky, you know, this is a charity, it's supposed to be a bit of fun. Is there a possibility that there could actually be quite a an experience or a dare I say it, a talent gap.
Well, they could be, but I mean, this is what snooker shootout's about. This is not like your standard game of snooker where it's very serious and this is more about, it's more fun. It's fast, it's furious. The louder, the better. You know, the audience participation is key. That they'll get everybody going. So with this, even if you're the best snooker player in the world, and Ronnie O'Sullivan and Fergal O'Brien and Ken Doherty, and who was the other one? Oh, Jimmy White. Jimmy White signed memorabilia as well for us. So even any one of those coming into this could go out of it in the first round because it's not a game of snooker. This is fast and it's furious.
So it's a bit like baseball in that sense compared to Test cricket.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Helen, did they ever try and put any pressure on you to become a bit of a player yourself, or?
Yes.
I thought that might happen.
I was
and what's the
promised
status
coaching
then?
and all I was.
Pardon?
I was promised coaching. No, won't be happening.
It's an odd one, isn't it? My brother used to, you couldn't get him out of snooker halls. And, I hung around when I was younger, but I was, shrewd enough to realise I'm never going to be able to reach that standard, no matter how often I practiced. But do you get dragged along? That's, I suppose, the other one.
I actually do. I go sometimes. Now, especially now with the snooker shootout, you were doing practicing, so we were doing practicing with the clock.
Okay.
So we were having a few shots.
Yeah.
So I was saying, like, if we hadn't got enough players, that I would go for it. Not that I'd win or anything. It was just for the support and the bit
You
of
make up the numbers, as we say.
Yeah.
The other bit as well, and this is what I'm delighted to hear, that this is, how would we put it, it's mixed gender. It could be men against women. Is there many women competing this time around?
There's not that many. I mean, the majority is male.
Okay,
but we
all.
do
Well,
have the
that's,
token females in there, which is great to see. But the most important thing is that it was open to everybody and every ability. So our youngest player will be actually 11 on Friday. So he'll be celebrating his birthday down there, and our oldest player.
His birthday's on Friday.
Yeah.
They're pretty much the same as me, except because mine, I think it's on Saturday or thereabouts.
Oh well, then Mick, if you come along with us, we'll get your birthday cake. We'll make sure you have your birthday cake there on Saturday.
When you get to my age, you don't want to be you don't want to be reminded of them. This could be a first in that sense of the word, because you don't get sports as a general rule, leaving aside the mixed doubles in tennis, where men and women compete against each other.
So no, this is, as I said, it's for everybody. The youngest player will be 11 on Friday. The oldest player that we have, and I'm sure you won't mind me saying it, will be 89 years young. So it's for everybody and anybody. And it's a snooker shootout. Yes, it's a charity event, but we kind of are focused on the fact that it's for the hospice, and not to lose sight on that. And that's what Helen has definitely kind of put that across, that it doesn't matter if you're a professional snooker player or if you're a bricklayer. It's up to you. If you can pick a cue up and you can hit a ball, then come along and join us.
89 years of age. I think he'd be
great.
at a slight disadvantage when he gets around that table.
Nothing.
Or is he a sprightly 89?
Yeah, you wait while you see this chap.
Yeah.
You'll be amazed.
Yeah. And is everybody from all the entrants, are they from Dublin, Helen, or are they from all over the place?
From all over the place. We have one from
there's Carlow, there's Newbridge. So
any international flavour other than yourself, Louise?
I might get my mum to pick a queue up, so we'll see. So mum's arriving tomorrow evening with my sister, so we might get mum to pick a queue up.
The other point of view we're always interested in is spectators. Now, I know Joeys because I've done some work up there over several times. They have a seating area, but that probably only holds maybe the most about 30 people. Obviously you would like people to turn up on the day and watch it, and perhaps even put some money in the bucket, as we say.
Absolutely. I mean, there'll be helpers there on the day that'll have St Francis's T-shirts on, and they'll have
Show us the T-shirt there.
The donation. This is actually the player's T-shirt that I brought in for you, and I'm going to gladly leave this for you. This is yours for the day.
Yeah, I will.
So this is the one that the players get issued with when they play their fee. So, but the staff that are going to be there, the helpers for the day, will be wearing St Francis's T-shirts. They're just white ones with their logos on the front. So they will be going around, and there'll be donation buckets, all there. as I said, there will be raffles on both the Saturday and the Sunday, and raffle tickets are available. So, we'll be around there kind of getting the raffle prizes out so people can see what they are. And they are great raffle prizes. I mean, we've got a helicopter ride followed by lunch. We've got overnight stays in hotels. We've got dinner. We've got TGI Friday vouchers, Eddie Rockets. It just goes on and on. A signed snooker cue from Ronnie O'Sullivan and Jimmy White. The list just goes on and on. So, and if people want to come, there's no entrance fee to actually come along and be a spectator. More the merrier. There is limited seating, but there's lots of standing space. So
because Helen, this is the inaugural shootout. Things evolve over several years. Now, one of the things I have noticed, particularly with the darts. Now, darts used to be fairly much, darkened room, big fat men, and 180. But once they got the spectators involved, and the spectators turn up, they seem to use the excuse to turn up in the most outrageous costumes and things like that. And alcohol is involved, that does help perhaps, but is that the sort of thing you would perhaps like to evolve into, where it becomes an event rather than just as I say, at the moment in the first one the focus is going to be on the charity and the focus is going to be on the play itself. But if you throw in that extra dimension of the players now, or on the spectators, you could have a Rocky Horror on your hands, and that would be wonderfully successful, I suspect. How do you think about that? How do you feel about that one?
I'm really hoping for a great bit of crack. Make it a family event. It's not just go out the men's day out or the boys' day out. It's going to be a family event. Bit of crack. We want to pop down for an hour, go off, come back, whatever, because there's different matches every 10 minutes.
Now, just in case anybody is listening and think, I missed out on that, is there what we would call a reserve list? In other words, if somebody was to hear this programme and say, oh, Helen, take my name, or pass it on to Louise in case somebody drops out, what's the story there?
Yeah, no, there is a reserve list for obvious reasons, that if something does happen at the 11th hour and somebody can't make it. So if anybody is interested, then they can contact either myself or Helen or Joeys Snooker Hall and leave their name and contact details, and we will be in touch with them. The entrance fee is €35, and for that they get their polo shirt. They also get, once they're knocked out, or unless they're the winner, they get a certificate of participation, and they get a lapel pin from the hospice that the hospice have donated themselves. So anybody that is interested, seriously interested, and they want to be kind of kept in mind that should anybody have to back out at the 11th hour, then yes, definitely there is a reserve list.
Yeah, and I gather, and I'll put this one to yourself, Helen, that you've taken a leaf out of the boxing. In other words, that the players will be brought to the ring by the bevy of beauties, as is the case. What's the story there?
Well, we wanted to keep it like the telly. The telly is the very same.
Yeah.
On the snooker shootout, each player is brought down by a beautiful lady.
Yeah.
So we wanted to do that and make it more exciting. It hasn't been done here that I know of, so we want to just bring it on.
So you didn't decide, well, what about a bloke in a bit of a skimpy speedos or things like that, just for equality in this day and age, in case there's a lot of women spectators, they mightn't be wanting to watch women in swimsuits.
I did think of that, but I don't think I'd get away with it.
Oh, I tell you, believe me, it's all evolving. I gather you also might have a celebrity from the telly turning up as well. Tell us the story there.
We have the guy that was in Savage Eye, or is in Savage Eye, the comedian John Collery. He's coming down on Sunday to do MC for us. So I'm just waiting on him to come back with timings when he's going to be there. He might not be there at the start of it, but he'll definitely be there during the day. And we have been very lucky that Fergal O'Brien, the professional snooker player, Irish snooker player, has donated his time to come and do the presentation for us.
Excellent.
So Fergal will be around for a little while as well. So, we have been very lucky, as I said, it's just through talking and conversation that, people have come back and said, actually, so-and-so would do this, they'd be very happy to support you and help you out. And then when you pick the phone up and have a conversation with them, they're absolutely, just let me know when you want me and where you want us to be. So, we have been very lucky in that sense.
Yeah. Helen, I'm going to come to yourself. I spent most of last weekend in Joeys Snooker Hall, so I've got a pretty good idea as to where it is. Tell people where it is and what's perhaps the best way to get there. It's on Harmonstown Road.
Yeah, it's on Harmonstown Road. Directions you're asking the wrong
Yeah.
person.
Well, I found that perhaps unless you're driving, if you're coming up. What would we call it? If you're coming up the Howth Road, you would come to the Cleicester Church, or take a left there at Brookwood Avenue and a first right, and it's about a kilometre up the road on your right hand side. However, if like myself you're a non-driver, I also found that what's pretty good is getting the Dart and getting off at Harmonstown Station, and you come out of that, turn left, first right, and it's about maybe 200 metres up the road. But the important thing is dates and times. So tell the listeners, when's it happening and what times is it happening?
Okay, the actual tournament itself starts on Friday evening. It starts at 7 o'clock.
That's the 12th, is it?
Friday the 12th at 7 o'clock, and it will go on till about 9:30 Friday evening. The draw for the players, so they know who they're playing and when they're playing, will take place on Thursday the 11th between 7 and 7:30 in Joeys. All players then will be notified to say this is who you're playing and this is when you're playing.
Okay. Yeah.
So they'll turn up at their allocated times. Saturday then goes into the second half of round one, and that kicks off at 11 o'clock in the morning.
And then the big day is Sunday.
And then, round two then starts at just after 5 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then the final day would be Sunday, which starts again at 11. So it's from 7 to 9, 9:30 on Friday in the evening, 11 till 10 p.m. the following day on the Saturday. So it's a long day, the Saturday. And then Sunday, where you've got your quarter-final, semi-final, finals, is from 11 till about 5:30.
Okay, so it's a very full weekend. Unfortunately, ladies, we're going to run out of time. We'll put this up on the net, and we'll hopefully you get a lot of money for the charity, and hopefully a lot of people will turn up and enjoy it. And I'm no doubt that the participants will have a great time. So Helen Deegan and Louise Richards, thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much for inviting
I just want to say thank you to Brian for doing such a great job on the desk, and of course don't go anywhere because Sean Brophy will be coming up with midweek music miscellany. I'm Mick Fitz, and I'll be back in a week's time. That shot through, didn't it?
That went quicker than I thought.
Yeah. Now I'll
Sorry.
how did we do there?
Okay, the actual tournament itself starts on Friday evening. It starts at 7 o'clock.
That's the 12th, is it?
Friday the 12th at 7 o'clock, and it will go on till about 9:30 Friday evening. The draw for the players, so they know who they're playing and when they're playing, will take place on Thursday the 11th between 7 and 7:30 in Joeys. All players then will be notified to say this is who you're playing and this is when you're playing.
Okay. Yeah.
So they'll turn up at their allocated times. Saturday then goes into the second half of round one, and that kicks off at 11 o'clock in the morning.
And then the big day is Sunday.
And then, round two then starts at just after 5 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah.
And then the final day would be Sunday, which starts again at 11. So it's from 7 to 9:30 on Friday in the evening, 11 till 10 p.m. the following day on the Saturday. So it's a long day, the Saturday. And then Sunday, where you've got your quarter-final, semi-final, finals, is from 11 till about 5:30.
Okay, so it's a very full weekend. Unfortunately, ladies, we're going to run out of time. We'll put this up on the net, and we'll hopefully you get a lot of money for the charity, and hopefully a lot of people will turn up and enjoy it. And I'm no doubt that the participants will have a great time. So Helen Deegan and Louise Richards, thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much for inviting me.